Reddit. What are your real-life horror stories? I have two stories to tell. Both take place in German forest that is very popular by hikers like me. First one, it was around 1 year ago. This trip was in the middle of the week. I drove to the parking lot and it was totally empty. On the weekend you normally find 20 to 40 cars over there, but this time I was absolutely alone. I went my normal route. I've hiked already more than 10 times. After a few kilometers, the route went along an open field. But before I was able to see the field, screams resounded through the forest. Blood-curdling screams. Inhuman screams. I'm an experienced hiker. I have seen and heard a lot of deers, foxes, wild boars, and rabbits. But this was totally new to me. It was so loud and unnormal, straight out of an horror game. At this point, the hike was over for me. I ran back to my car. The second story happened a week ago. Also an hiking story. Do you know this feeling when you think someone is watching you? But you turn around and see nothing. On one hiking route I used to go a few times per year, I've got this feeling every time I'm in a specific section. It's 3 kilometers of pure horror. In this section, things are changing regularly, but not because of humans, but because of nature. A lot of trees are falling on the path. I often see deers crossing my way, and more wild boar tracks are showing up. So every time I'm here, I'm speeding up. But it's worth it. The part of the trail you can see after this section is breathtaking. It's a dense valley like in a grim fairy tale. So on my last hike, I also had to cross the horror section. From the first meter, I've got the chills again and speed up. Until the moment AF King Deer crossed my way. But it didn't just cross my way, it stopped, looked at me and blocked my way, like, "Hey human, stop. Go where you came from and never come back." But I didn't want it to go back. I've managed to get 80% off the horror section and knew it'll only be a few more meters until the cool parts of the hike are starting. So I went directly through the forest to get around the deer, and it worked. But when I entered the next section, I couldn't calm down. I've still got this feeling. Someone or something is following me. I regularly looked behind me, always hoping to see nothing. Slowly, I was calming down after a few more kilometers, thinking about my next rest area, but then my biggest nightmare came true. Over the last few weeks, it rains a lot in my region, and the little stream besides my route went to a big river that flooded the path I had to use. The temperatures were around freezing, so I would be a horrible idea to went through the river. Since I was in a dense valley, I had only one way I could go. Back. There are no other routes. To make it even worse, it's winter, and I only had 2 more hours until sunset. But I needed more than 3 hours to come to this place. So the solution was to run out this place. Not caring about any animal running in the dense forest, birds, or breaking sticks. I was only thinking about my car, my keys, and the moment I could use them to unlock my cars. I will never ever visit this part of the forest ever again.